What did you do sexually with your first partner that you only realized wasn't normal when you got into a new relationship? Not my first GF, but one girl I dated for a bit was a real semen demon. Had a cunt fetish to the point where she'd just get me to jerk off a load into her mouth sporadically for no reason aside from wanting a snack. Edit. If only my stock portfolio went up as much as my karma today. I'm not a vending machine. It's hard getting the quarters out of your butt. Huh. That's why I have ass pennies. You should have made that work, brother. In retrospect, yes. Moment of silence for the regret. The first dude I had sex with I ended up dating for 7 years, so most of my sexual habits were built around him and his habits. He absolutely loved having his balls squeezed hard. Like, wrap my hand around the whole sack and squeeze as hard as I possibly could. He was so into it, and we never really talked about it, so I just assumed it was something all dudes liked. The first time I had sex with my current partner, I tried to impress him with this sexy move and he very quickly informed me that it is in fact not something all dudes liked. Sorry, babe. I'm trying to imagine that poor son of a bitch's response to the first time you viced his balls. I cannot. Because I had done it with such gusto he thought it was something I was into. I was like, no, this is for you. I'm crushing your balls for you. Lol, holy shit, what a hilarious awkward first try. I used to put my girlfriend's legs like all the way behind her. I had no idea how flexible that girl was until I was yelled at for trying with a different girl. Lifting her legs up to your shoulders is generally an alright middle ground though, just don't try and fold every girl like a lawn chair all at once the first time. Having to gag and try not to vomit while going down on her, or even smelling my hand after fingering her. I thought every girl just smelled and tasted that bad, so I manned up and did the deed for her. After we broke up and I started hooking up with other girls, I realized that while it's not my favorite smell and taste in the world, pussy is just fine. My first girlfriend just tasted awful. That's just fucking nasty. You have my condolences. And her yeast infection. And my axe. My first girlfriend gave blowjobs by blowing on my penis. We were both very young. I was just happy someone was touching it. Edit. So it turns out a lot of people have had this happen to them, eh? That's adorable. Haha, not the description I would expect. The back door was always an option. Now it's a place that exists, but I never go there. First GF would give me a BJ, but when I would start to come things changed quite drastically. Once it started, she would remove her mouth completely. I distinctly remember the pop sound each time, and then start to jack me off, like she was trying to set the speed record with the shake weight. So I hated BJS. When I told her it was great except for the end, she just told me that's how BJS were, and not everyone likes them. Not true. Edit. Couple points. I added the word come above for clarity. My issue isn't the fact that I wasn't allowed to come in her mouth. What she did with her hand physically hurt. My orgasm felt more like the bell at the beginning of a carnival game that caused her to spring into hyperaction. That's the issue. I've had girls that didn't like cum in their mouth and they give great blowjobs because they communicate. Also understand some guys like this. That's cool if it's your thing. Don't mean to offend. Glad I could provide some laughs. Close bracket. Edit 2. My top comment is about my hilarious sexual inexperience. Awesome. I love how she treated it like there was some prescriptive method for blowjobs. Motherfucker. I just got ISO 9001 certified on BJ mechanics. I think I know what I'm doing here. I'm going to need to see the work instruction on this. Surprise audit, bitch. My first girlfriend just laid there while I did the work. My second GF was a Hellcat. It was like going from a bike to fully loaded Benz, or a bike to a Hellcat. My first BF was a dead fish. I didn't even know when, or if he came. I didn't know how to make myself orgasm at the time, but I still loved sex, so I'd just ride him until I was tired, then ask him if he was done. The girl who was my first sex partner was 2 years older than me and significantly more experienced, like way more experienced. She basically treated her vagina and anus as interchangeable and sex usually involved both, switching back and forth frequently. Sketchy hygiene I later learned. but typically like me to slip it into her ass when I was going to ejaculate because she liked how that felt. With later partners I found out not all girls have a butthole you can just switch to when you're about to pop off. Some girls scream and punch you in the face, which it turns out does not stop an ejaculation. And now you've been trained to get punched in the face and screamed at when you ejaculate. Don't slut shame me. First time I ever had sex, believe it or not, we did the F***ck me in the ass cause I love Jesus thing. Turns out, no other girl I've ever had sex with since would even think about it. The old poop hole loophole. The Browntown workaround. The Missouri Compromise. Lol, it's funny because Missouri is a shithole. In college, I hooked up with one girl during her time of the month. I was new to the whole hooking up perspective of college life as a freshman. She was totally cool about it and told me that I could just put it in her ass. I took how cool she was with it as somehow being the norm with other hookups. I was dead wrong. The next girl that I hooked up was also during her time of the month, so I asked her about our options there and ended up naked by myself and very embarrassed. Edit. My top comment is about bud stuff. Noise. You shot your shot, my dude. First one blew me anytime and anywhere I asked and swallowed. Not realistic. She was also batshit crazy. AHH, it's always the mentally troubled ones. The best sex I've ever had always been with my super psycho ex. She was beyond batshit, but even 4 years into a relationship with her, blowjobs were a multiple times a day event. Hell, sometimes I would get out of the shower to get ready for work and she'd be laying on the bed in lingerie begging me to fuck her before I left. Eventually I couldn't handle the crazy anymore, but I've never met someone as freaky / horny as she was and never had a girl beg to give me a blowjob like she did. 10 out of 10 with nut again. Okay, we are going to need details on the crazy. Where to start? Started dating at 16. She was absolutely stunning. I couldn't believe it. First date, she wore real white jeans with a pink thong with the straps hanging on her hips and whispered to me, "You'll be pulling these off me tonight." Got round mine. Fucked like crazy. Every single day for the next year we met up after college. Stayed round one of each other's houses. She would regularly do things to me in public to make me horny. Like we would be walking through town and she'd whisper I'm not wearing anything under my skirt and drag me off to nearest public toilet / secluded area we could find. She would even do it round her parents. Once she went upstairs for a bath, then texted me to come upstairs. I got in with her and she would scream begging for me with her parents downstairs. We moved in together for a year before breaking up. She would do weird stuff, like once I got in from work exhausted and was falling asleep on the sofa. She asked if I wanted a blowjob and I said no. So she called her best friend, explaining to her what man doesn't want his girlfriend to suck him off whilst casually playing with herself with her other hand. Eventually I couldn't handle it anymore. She became obsessive and abusive, so I ducked out. But I still have some fond memories of all the amazing sex we had. She was up for literally anything. Amount of times I'd wake up in the morning to her giving me head / riding me, and she'd say it's a woman's job to make sure her man has a good start to the day. After we broke up she did some underwear modeling I think. Heard from her a year or so ago begging me to get back with her, but I quickly realized she was still insane, so cut contact. Edit. I want to add to this. She wasn't a bad person. She just had a bad childhood and mild bipolar disorder. When she was nice she was genuinely a kinda loving person that just wanted to make people happy. But she refused to take her medication and thought smoking weed was a better idea. It's a shame. As if she could have worked through her issues. I tried to help. I think we would still be together. I don't think. Don't stick your dick in crazy is right. I learned a lot from being with her for those years. Many ups and downs. But it helped me mature to be the person I'm today. And of course the incredible sex taught me how good it can be with the right partner. But she'll always hold a place in my heart. Second edit. Fuck. Most upvoted comment I ever made was about my ex with mental issues being a sex freak. Never change Reddit. Never change. Try and put the balls in. Wait, are you not supposed to do this? Then what's the point of tucking your balls inside the condom? My balls are retracting just reading this. Edit. This is now my top rated comment. Hooray. That's what helps get them in the condom. He asked me to use my teeth during a blowjob. He wanted me to scrape my teeth up his dick. Said he liked the thrill of not knowing if I might bite it. Had to unlearn that trick fast. That scared me. My first girlfriend taught me how to finger her. She would make me start out with one and then add a second finger. She kept telling me to do it faster and harder. It got to the point that I'm literally cranking my fist back and punching her in pussy. Needless to say, my next girlfriend was super pissed when I didn't understand that she didn't like to be cunt punched. Every girl has a different stroke to get her off. I didn't realize that till about 4 girls in. The first taught me and I tried from then on. Experienced anything similar? Leave it in the comments below.